let's get this party started, y'all. Welcome to Hardcore Enduro, where it's all about getting out and riding the hard stuff. I'm George, the guy behind the bars and the voice behind the mic. And I got something special for y'all today. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. I'm calling it the Rincon Challenge. And what that's going to be...
I don't have much of a warm-up.
Who needs a warm-up? You just use the race. Yeah, just use the race as a warm-up. That's what everyone does anyways. I wish I started. Anyways, start from that sign there. Start your stopwatch. The sign says it's 6 miles to Brush Creek, but the dirt bike said it was 8 miles to Brush Creek. And I believe the dirt bike, Trixie don't lie, y'all. Trixie tells the truth. Anyways.
Don't have much of a warm-up.
So, yeah, not much of a warm-up. I usually do my pivot turns, full lock turns, and a bunch of static balance before I ride. Didn't get that in. I was running late. I left this morning. Had a big wedding last night I went to with the wife. We stayed out late, and man, I was just kind of hanging coming this morning. But here I am up riding, and we're doing this challenge here. So it's a time run for the lower Rincon, which is a solid 7 black diamond, I'd say. And it has gotten easier. My skill level's gotten a lot better. So it's a good test for me, anyways, to see how I'm doing on my skill and how I'm riding. It's a fun trail. It has a lot of challenges to it. It has a good flow to it, but still a lot of obstacles that can be challenging. So I want to put in like a standard time run here that everyone can gauge themselves off. I got my cash can in my pack. I'm going to put in sign-in book at the finish line there. That if you guys remember to time yourself, you'll be able to sign in the book and put down your time, and then use your own time as kind of a standard for yourself if you come do this again. It's a fun trail, challenging trail. The Rincon doesn't let you down. And my goal is to run about 70% of a full race pace, so 70 to 75%. If I could keep that up, you know, it's been summer months, so it's been tough to get on the bike. It's just been so dang hot out here in California, but you know, if I could put it 70%, I'm gonna put down a good time, which I did. So I ended up going 54 minutes, 35 seconds, which was pretty good in my book. I remember the first time I ever did this trail, really rocky. This first half is just a really rocky hill climb coming up. You just gotta be careful about these bouldery rocks right here. They roll on you. But yeah, 5 years ago, did this with Nate, and I think we did 3 hours in, and we only got about halfway, about to Pack Saddle. I don't even think we made it to Pack Saddle Cave, so a little bit less than halfway actually. But now I can do the whole thing in under an hour. Did 54 minutes, and I even had several little mess-ups, little mistakes where I could have probably got under 50 minutes today pretty easily, running still the same pace. So pretty good. I was happy with the time I got. I know that I have probably the potential to go, if I went fast, a low 40. Got some arm pump coming in. Yeah, I didn't take my Advil. Didn't do my warm-ups. And I didn't take my Advil. That's my little tip. Kind of to lessen that arm pump in the beginning. I usually take 4 Advil before I go riding. And just kind of thins out the blood a little bit. Keeps that arm pump down a little bit. Nice little technical section through here. Some rocks. Got a really sharp hairpin turn between these rocks up here. I haven't mastered this turn. I'd like to just kind of pop a wheelie in there, get that rear tire in there deep, pop the wheelie over, turn around. Then it's got another hairpin to the right, and you got this rock. Which that first time we ever came in here with Nate looped his bike out on the rock right there. So every time I do this trail, I'm picturing Nate looping the bike out right there. He needs to autograph that rock. Uh-oh, my wife's coming in. I gotta answer the door. She wanted to put up, I'm out in my office, and she wanted to hang up fall decorations. I'm like, really? I'm doing a voiceover, you gotta do fall decorations right now. Alright, she never watches these videos, so I can say that and not get in trouble. Anyways, nice climb. Yeah, this is a goggle down trail. My goggles are up, but it does get overgrown, so you do need to put your goggles down at one point, and I'll do that up here. I don't want to get whacked in the eyeball. This is the trail where I almost lost my eye, and it's by, I'll show you where it's at. It's Yeah, I'm breathing hard already, but it's by the entrance to the Pack Saddle Cave. If you guys don't know, there's a cave you can hike to. The Rincon goes about a quarter mile from the hiking trail. You can park your bike and hike to the cave. Pretty big cave. It'd be so sweet if you could actually ride your dirt bike up to it. And I've been tempted several times. I mean, there's no one up here. You could easily get away with riding your bike to the cave and taking a photo up there. I think it's pretty sweet. I haven't done it yet though. I break a lot of rules, y'all, but I haven't broken that one yet. One day maybe. This is where that brush starts grabbing you and you gotta put your goggles down. Now speaking of that, look at that. Grabbed my elbow right there, tried to yank my arm off. I don't know how many jerseys y'all go through, but I go through quite a bit. My jerseys get so ripped up from these trails. I'm always thinking about how to add on some extra protection. I got a tailor that I go to in town. Yeah, these brakes are real nice, but I go to a tailor in town and get them re-sewn up all the time. I get my jerseys custom made through Canvas MX. If you guys are looking to get custom jerseys printed out, go to canvasmx.com and you can make your own jersey. They got some pre-made ones.
Once in a while, I gotta look down, make sure my camping stuff's still
yeah. I got something special on the bike. I'm gonna show you guys later on. But yeah, if you want some custom jerseys, go to canvasmx.com and start making your own look, or just go buy what everyone else buys. That's usually what everyone does. You show up to a race and everyone's wearing the same outfit, black. Usually it's all black. Everyone blends in together. All right, coming up here is a little split fork in the road. You go right, don't go left right there. That's a hiking trail that goes on to the left. You got this off-camber little climb right now. They had a low line, but you could just feather that clutch and she tractors right up. Yeah. Now, I don't know. I know there's poison oak here, and it is fall. So
poison oak.
It might be
Already.
some.
I know there's poison oak on the trail.
And I get it bad. If there's poison oak, it looks at me and just jumps right on my skin. I get it. We'll find out here in a day or two if I got it. Sometimes it can last on your gear. Like you'll go through poison oak and you can go several weeks. That oil is still on your gear, and then you go to wear it again because I don't ride all the time, so I hit the peg back there. You hear that? But I'll get poison oak like out of the middle of nowhere, and I'm like, where the heck did this come from? It's because I've touched my helmet, touched my boots or something like that, and then it rubs on me. But it is fall now. Leaves are changing colors, and so it throws me all off. And what's poison oak and what isn't? Because I know poison oak changes colors. It's really bright, shiny green, and then it gets that red, fall red leaf color to it. Doing all right the pace. I think I've slacked off a little bit, and I'm starting to notice it. I'm like, all right, get back on the gas a little bit more. Don't get too comfortable here. I want to maintain that 70% speed average. It's real tight through here, a lot of overgrowth. Still a nice flow to it. You gotta watch out. The trail does get hiked a lot, and where that split back there was, a lot of hikers will take that route. Nice little chunky rock section through here. So you can come flying around a corner there, and there could be a hippie hiker right in the middle of your way. So just be careful when you come on this trail. Here's a nice little sketchy section coming up here. You got this little rock area. Get that rear tire all the way up as far as you can, then pivot the front over. Coming down sketchy. There's a steep drop off to the left there. And you gotta hug these rocks.
A little bit of a sketchy area.
Yeah, don't fall left right there. Take your time, keep your balance. Slow is smooth and smooth is fast. I always think about that. Nicely done, Georgie. Getting through, no mistakes. Still doing good on time so far. We're coming up to the Salmon Creek Bridge. You gotta cross over this bridge, and there's another really kind of technical, narrow section to get across. There's a big switchback. You gotta go left around this rock. It's a real narrow rock, and then you gotta go, you'll see coming up a switchback. Anyways, I have a tail bag on my bike right now over the rear fender. It's got a bunch of camping stuff in it, and I'm choosing a tail bag over the rear fender over saddlebags over the side fenders, just for this scenario right here. See how tight this is? I don't want a saddlebag hanging off the side that's gonna hit and throw me off the trail here. A lot of these hard enduro trails, a lot of trails I ride are just really overgrown, real narrow, and I'm trying to keep the bike as narrow as possible so that I can continue to ride them. All right, here's that big switchback. Gotta get that. Oh, she flames out. What are you doing, girl? That's not what you're supposed to do. I got the R-Enduro Easy Clutch system installed, and this is my first real ride with it, so I'm still filling it out. I really like it. I have only positive things to say about it, other than the installation video it just needs to be updated is all. It's not the best. Now, I'm pretty mechanically inclined, so I can figure it out, but I imagine someone who's worse than me might have had a difficult time installing it on their own. But these kind of scenarios where you got to do a lot of clutch work, it's great for guys that don't put a lot of time on the bike. You know, I'm not Graham Jarvis. Graham Jarvis could pull in a factory clutch. I mean, he doesn't need a soft clutch. He's got these Popeye forearms. You go to shake his hand, and he'd crush your hand in his hand. His forearms are like Popeye. These guys that ride all the time, you know, they built up some stamina, conditioning. Oh, nice step up right here. Get it. Look at that, baby. So the R-Enduro Easy Clutch, it starts out like the initial, right when you pull the clutch, it feels normal, and then as soon as you start pulling in, that's when there's a spring in there, and it starts assisting you. So the more you pull it in, the easier it gets. And there is a little adjustment screw, so if you want more assist or less assist, you can set it to how you want. And for me, I love it. Like, I have little girl hands, and I'm not having to my clutch finger is just not in condition. Plus, my clutch finger itself was broke and never grew back. Not 100%. So I'm recommending, if you guys have a heavy clutch and you're looking for something to assist you lighten that load of the clutch a little bit, look into the R-Enduro clutch system. It does cost, I think it was like $400 or something like that, but you know, if you ride your bike and you really want to enjoy your bike, I'd say get it, because it's going to make your rides that much more enjoyable. If you're doing a lot of clutch work, if you're just doing open desert stuff, we're not really using a lot of clutch, you're probably not going to need it. But for me, I need it. Here's a nice big rock obstacle, and I've done this several times. I've cleaned it several times. And what I always do is come on this big flat rock, and then I'll put my front tire up here, and then I'll do the 511 special and get on right up and over it. But I have that tail bag on, and I can't get my butt as far back as I need to right now to really throw my body weight forward to assist the bike up. What I should have done is just carried momentum, and my bike momentum would have carried me over. You know, still done the same little pop the front end over and give it a little blip, and I would have popped right over it instead of stopping and going for the full 511 special. But what am I wasting time here? Come on, Georgie. Looking like an amateur. Okay, plan B. Go to the right of this rock. Get your rear tire all the way up there, and then pivot that front end around. So that's what I do. Get up there, get that front tire up, kind of in a wheelie. Pivot over, do a couple rock backs, and the old tire burnout on the rock until she grabs. There you go.
I wasted some time.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty. Got up and over. Didn't waste too much energy, but I lost some time right there. If I would have dumped the bike over or looped the bike out, that would have been really costly. Would have burned a lot of energy plus wasted more time. So, you know, just kept the bike up. Did plan B there and got the bike over. It all worked out. Back onto the trail. Still doing good. Got a climber climbing up to that saddle. You can see still got a ways to go uphill. Rincon's a series of climbs. You're going up, zigzagging, then you're going down, zigzagging, then you're going back up, zigzagging, then you're going down, zigzagging. So it's always a constant work. It does have a couple little flat sections where you can catch your breath, but then you're right back into a climb or a descent. And if you look at the far right of the screen where the tip, there's a bald mountain looking up there. Well, just to the right of that, which is off screen, is Salmon Falls. And you come here in the spring, like this is a beautiful spring trail to do, because that waterfall, it's just full bore going over the rock there. It looks like something you see out of Yosemite. And here it is, a little hidden waterfall on this trail. So come here in the springtime, do this trail in the spring, get your time run in, and glance over at the waterfall at the same time. You gotta do it all at the same time. Here's another scenario if I had that saddlebag on the side. This is another real tight little pinch area. This is where that tail bag, I think, is gonna be better than having a saddlebag. You know, I watched that video Cody Webb and did with Tristan where they went dirt bike. Ooh, here's a nice little downhill coming back up this. That's a nice step up coming up. This, oh, my wife is calling me right now. Now I got reception.
Hello.
So I answer. I got Cardo Pack Talk. I can answer the phone call. But it's cutting in and out, and I'm not hearing anything but gobbledygook, so I can't hear. I'm still saying hello. I can't stop. Can't stop the clock, you know. I gotta keep on going. I guess I could have paused it, but that's kind of cheating, because then you're taking a rest break, pausing the clock. But you can't do that, folks. Don't cheat. If you're gonna do the time run, it's a non-stop. If you're gonna take a rest break, you don't stop the clock. You just, the clock is running. You know, it's like hard enduro race. The clock is always running. But back to the camping video that Cody and Tristan did. I've been wanting to dirt bike camp so many times when I've gone trail riding, because you come across some epic view or just some awesome area where I've always thought to myself, man, this would be a sweet spot to camp for the night. You know, I'd love to do that. So I've been wanting to do this for years, and then last month, Cody and Tristan, they dropped their video where they went dirt bike camping. Now, they went on big adventure bikes, but they still went down some gnarly trails. And of course, being Cody and Tristan, these guys are like the best guys in the world. They can do stuff on their big adventure bikes that trials guys can't even do on their trials bike. So it's just so much fun to see. It looked like they had a blast. They one night stayed up in this big vista up at the top of this peak and had this huge view, and then another night they stayed down by a creek. It just looked awesome. And I was like, that's it. I'm gonna do it. If Cody can do it, I can do it. That's my new slogan. Be like Cody. It was so awesome. So anyways, I've been doing a ton of research about camping gear. Now, I've camped before in the past, but nothing hardcore, and definitely not on a dirt bike. Ooh, there's another little rock obstacle. Like Rincon, just full of these rock obstacles. This is one where I mess up here, so I lose time right here. I don't get over it. I just don't carry enough speed. I didn't commit. I might have got kicked out a little bit by that rock there, and then my back end falls off the trail. I wasn't paying attention.
How you doing there, Georgie?
Not paying attention. That's where you want. You're just being dumb. I don't know what you're doing. Why'd you roll back so far? You didn't have to. You could have just kept the bike up there and give it a little push. Anyways, get back on. Give this a second go. And I do worse on the second time than I did the first time. But I don't roll back. So I did learn my lesson. Don't roll back. It's not too hard of an like, you can just go for it. And I've done it many times. You just, a little bit more speed, you go right over the top. I am a little tired. I've been pushing. I haven't stopped. My normal trail rides, I'd stop and take a lot of rest breaks. But because I'm going for time, I haven't stopped. So I am a little bit more fatigued. I do the old tire burnout on the rock until she gets traction. There she goes. I'm running a VE33S today. So it's a hybrid gummy tire that IRC puts out. It's a great trail tire. It's one of my go-tos for trail riding. It's got the bigger knobs on it, and so it lasts a little longer. It's not a true gummy. It's still soft, but it's not a true gummy like a JX8 is, where it just really eats up real quick, or an IX09 that just lasts for like one ride. So the VE33S is a great rear tire. I do have it drilled out loose, real soft. It's a great tire setup that I have. I got a lot of traction today. Got a nice little steady climb up here. this part of the trail is really rutted out, and if you get your feet off the pegs and you got to trail your legs, dangle your legs behind your bike, you can't. The rut is so beat out, like you can't get your leg clearance to get back up on the peg. So you're just dragging your feet behind you this whole time, and it really wears out your hip flexors. Now that happened to me at Silver Kings. There was a lot of the trail where the rut is so beat out, your legs are so dead because you're going that uphill to climb, and you can't get your leg back, you can't get your foot back on the pegs. I don't know if that makes sense to y'all, but that was happening in my hip flexor, my leg was just, don't go off the trail there, Georgie. Those kind of mistakes can be real costly because you don't know how soft that side of the hill might be. You get off the trail, and then you're pushing like mad trying to get your bike back up onto the hard-packed trail. Back to the camping though, I'm very excited about doing a dirt bike camp trip. Oh, another fork in the road. There's a low line left and then a high line to the right there. And I'm gonna take the high line to the right. My buddy Nate took the low line to the left, and there's a big drop off, and he went over the side, and there was a rock that caught him. Thank God, because he would have been in a world of hurt. All right, we got another big climb ahead of us. That bright spot up there, it's kind of a rocky face climb, big obstacle, and this is one.
Really helping out.
Oh, another little sketchy, just hug that corner there. Get around that. But there's another climb here. Well, I've never cleaned it perfectly, and I should spend some time here. You got a little bit of a run up. You can do it first gear, and I'm gonna do it second gear. And this is one issue I'm having with the new bike now, is that I haven't felt her out as far as hill climbs goes, and I feel like hill climbing is a little bit of a weakness for me on her. I struggled back at Whiskey Ridge on the hill climb of just finding that power band and being able to stay in the power. If she dips down in RPM, that power really falls off and you can't get it back. Whereas a 450, you can get that power back, which is really nice. So it's just a different, I'm gonna have to, learning curve, a different thing, a skill I'm gonna have to learn on the new bike here. Catch your breath, old man. Jeez, gosh, huffing and puffing. That's just smart. Catch your breath, because you don't want to have to do this hill twice or tumble down, or you don't want to loop the bike out either. There we go. A little bit of clear out. Sounds good. I'm in second gear, and you can hear right away RPM's way too low. I'm not keeping the RPM. I'm not feathering the clutch, keeping that RPM high. So I get halfway up the hill here, and
that was not that good.
Yeah, that was not good. But I don't go back down. This rock is really jagged, and you get a lot of traction, especially with the tire setup I have. So I just put her back in first. I'll get it. Yeah, get in first. I'm telling you to get in first. Come on, let's go. There we go. Drop down into the rut. Now she's going to get a lot of traction. And this is one thing I really like about the new bike here, is being able to lug and track the bike up. I could do that with the old 450, but it was very prone to stalling out. Whereas the 300 here, that RPM dips down really low sometimes, and she doesn't stall. So that is real nice, especially with that R-Enduro clutch setup. I'm able to feather that clutch on the lower RPMs and tractor it up. I got to work on the high RPMs now, so I really would like to get out to Jawbone or Bean Canyon, where you got some major hills to climb, where I can work on feathering the clutch, keeping the RPM high, and climbing hills. All right, speaking of hill climbs, this is a nice climb up here. Series of switchbacks to get to the top of the saddle here, and there's several splits. There'll be a split, and then the trail goes back together, then there's another split, trail goes back together, then there's another split. So you gotta choose which split you wanna do. I did this high line here, which saved a little bit of time, but I lose my balance right. Going up here, I'm gonna lose my balance right here. I start leaning right. So I dump the clutch to save me from rolling back here and looping out. Get my balance, pivot the front end over, and then see that the trail now goes back together as one, and then it's gonna branch out again, fork out. There's a high line to the right. I'm gonna go low and left. There's a big rut, but in the rut there's that rock, that white rock in the middle, and I'm gonna hit that rock and it totally throws me off. So here we go. Get in here. Bang. Hit the rock on the pipe. My bash plate. That's what it's for. Now that high line, if you can get up there, that's the faster line to be on, but you come around here, you gotta swing around the switchback. Camera doesn't show you, but it's all pretty steep stuff. So your front tire is doing a whole bunch of wheeling the whole time during this climb, especially if you're on the back. One plus to having that tail bag, see I'm doing a wheelie there. One plus to having that tail bag is it stops me from sliding back. Like my butt's resting on the tail bag right now. It's like having a sissy bar on your bike, just keeping me up, which is nice. It's actually saving me some energy. That's another pros. I'm testing out this gear setup that I have to see if I like it or not, see how it's gonna hold up. I know there's a lot of saddlebags out there, you know, Priga, you got Moscow or Moscow or something like that. You got, of course, Tusk with their Baja. There's a Rhino Walk or something. There's a whole bunch of saddlebags that you can get for your bike. And I'm not trying any of those. It may come to that where I got to get one, but for right now, I'm trying to do a different setup than that. Just trying to keep the bike skinny. That's my thought process for a hard enduro. Keep the bike skinny. Yeah, it's hot. There's no airflow. You can hear that fan. She's trying to cool it down. I got that fan set at 210 degrees, which I'm going off of my R1 fan. My R1 fan is set at 215 degrees, so I figure 210 is all right. My buddy Ashton, he runs his bike at 200 degrees, but I'm gonna do 210. Thinking maybe that fan won't be on as long, like when your bike dies and your fan comes on, and everyone on hard enduros, their bike's dead because their fans killed their bike. Oh, there's a bunch of quail up there. Quail, folks. Quail season starts in 3 weeks. And if you haven't tried quail out, you need to. It is delicious. I have been thinking about, since I'm going to do some dirt bike camping, and if I could bring like a collapsible shotgun or something like that, so I could, you know, quail season's pretty long. I could be able to shoot some quail. I see so many on my ride. Shoot some quail, and then I'd have my dinner. I think that'd be really cool. Not at that point yet. So I've been watching, I don't know if you guys have seen the channel, The Outdoor Boys with Luke. The guy does like survival camping, bushcraft. He makes a whole bunch of his own gear. And then just a fantastic channel. I kind of been watching now. It's so fun. He's always camping in extreme temperatures or extreme areas. And he just seems like a down-earth, normal guy, kind of goofy-looking guy. And he brings his kids along with him. I'm like, man, he is the dad that I want to be. Like, he's taking his kids out camping, fishing, and young kids. They're like 3 years old, 4 years old. I'm like, man, I want to do that. My kids are right there. I need to be that guy. So I've been learning a lot from Luke. He's got a lot of good tips. And I've camped growing up, but I haven't ever like extreme camped or anything, especially, of course, not on a dirt bike where you're really limited on space. You know, when you go camping in your car, you just load your truck up. You can put massive tents, massive sleeping bags. You're not cared about saving space. Whereas now that I'm on the bike, I'm thinking about how can I fit what I need on there. And of course, I don't want to be survival. Like, I'm not just going to survive a camping trip. I want to camp and enjoy myself. Man, it's a long downhill. My triceps getting worked out. There's a bunch of exposed roots I just went over. Coming back up. Got to carry some momentum, pop that front tire. It's just like a step up. You just got to carry that momentum, pop that front tire up, and give it a little blip of throttle and get on over those exposed roots. I remember Silver King, the first time I did it, had a bunch of exposed roots, and I was getting destroyed by them. I couldn't get over them. But now I'm doing pretty good. I can get over that kind of stuff. So the setup for the bike on my right above my left knee on the left fairing there, above the radiator, I have my tent stakes or my tent poles just zip tied to the top of it. And I was noticing that, so I got the tail bag on, and in my air box I got some hidden tools, and all my bike tools are in the air box now. And then I just started looking like, where on the bike do I have just extra space? Go watch out, there's a soft shoulder here. Coming up, going down not so bad, but coming up it's really easy to get off the line right there and get that back tire off the line and start digging down, you know. But I've been riding the bike, trying to see where I'm not actually, my body isn't touching the bike. Where do I have extra space? So right above the radiators there, there's just extra room. The handlebars don't hit it, my knees aren't hitting it. So I put the tent poles there, and on the right side, I'm gonna put a fuel bottle there. Like an MSR fuel bottle or something like that for extra gas. That is one thing, the new Trixie here, she doesn't do the best in gas mileage. I thought she'd do a lot better. My buddy, Kyle, he's got a TPI bike, and he can get a really good gas mileage on his bike. But I think the TBIs burn a little bit more fuel. They don't burn as lean as the TPI does. And so I'm burning more gas. I only got a 2-gallon gas tank. And I got on Whiskey Ridge, I only did 35 miles on, and the fuel light was on for quite a ways. I don't know how far I could go before I run out. I'm hoping it's over 40 miles because I got some hare and hounds coming up, and I don't want to run out of gas. Some of those loops can be a 40 plus mile loop.
Goggles down.
Yeah, goggles down. Don't lose your eyeball here. Rincon, this is where I got poked in the eye really, really bad. You can just see how it's overgrown. You got goggles because you get so hot, so you'll pull up the goggles and you'll forget your goggles up because you're just burning up in here, and then you'll get it to a spot where the bush is really overgrown. You got to get those goggles back on. Up and over this little hill, we're gonna drop back down, and then we got a creek crossing coming up, so some boulders to get over. And this is where, if you want some practice riding on boulders, doing some rocks, you got to hit up the Rubicon. This is the Rincon. I'm talking about the Rubicon Trail, which is up by Tahoe. It's west side of Tahoe. It's a Jeep trail, real famous kind of Jeep rock crawler trail. And if you got a fear or phobia of rocks, you gotta do Rubicon, and you're gonna get over your fear because it's non-stop rocks. So let's see how I do here. Go right up the middle. I don't want to get wheel spin. Get that rear tire up over the obstacle. Well done, Georgie. Okay, bring that front end back around. Cross. So there's no water in the creek right now. I'm sure if it came in the springtime, there would be water right there. Nicely done. Yeah, that's a pat in the back on that one. Ew. This little rock right there going over, coming up the other way. It's a good little step up to get over. All right, we got one more saddle to get over, and then we're gonna drop down into the Pack Saddle Canyon. What name of that canyon there? Oh my goodness, my app, my OnX off-road app has to update. What's the deal with today? I've had to update my computer. I had to update my video editing software, and now I gotta update my app. It's like boom, boom, boom. The computer update took like 20 minutes. Software took another 5 minutes. Been trying to do this voiceover, and it's been taking forever. Anyways, we're gonna drop down into the canyon up here, and this is gonna be the halfway point of the trail, which is pretty good. We're about 35. We're gonna be, by the time we get down there, I'm guessing we're about 37 minutes in, which is the hardest part is over. The second half of the trail here is much more flowy. There are a couple of switchbacks, but all the hard obstacle stuff is done. So you'll be able to, it's about the same distance, but it goes by much faster. I finished uploading. So it doesn't say what it is. It's just Pack Saddle Trail. which leads you to the Pack Saddle Cave, which is a pretty cool little place to go visit if you want to go see a natural cave. It's not a minor cave or something like that. It's an actual just natural mountain cave. It's got stalagmites, stalactites, all that kind of stuff in there. But the entrance to the trail from Rincon Trail is kind of hidden, and I'll point it out. But when you're riding along, if you're going fast and you're just like hitting the trail like I'm riding now, you just ride right on past it and not even know it was there. Definitely worth a stop. I'd hit it maybe on the way back, or if you're not doing a time run. Because time run matters, folks. No stopping the clock. The clock doesn't stop. I don't care what you're doing. Resting.
The rear brake needs to be a little bit higher.
Okay, I was saying my rear brake lever needs to be a little bit higher, a little too low. And when I go to press it, especially on like a downhill, I feel like I can't get my toe down on the lever. So I just need to raise it up just a hair. Bunch of streams you got to cross, and one thing that I've learned through hiking, my research for camping has actually opened my eyes up to a lot of things that I've been doing wrong trail riding for all these years. Water's one issue where I can do things a lot differently, I'd say. So I got a 3-liter pack of water, and then I'll pack like 2 extra water bottles on top of that, thinking I'm gonna run out of water. Well, they have water filters now, and I didn't really know that until I started researching like hiking and backpacking. And Luke from the Outdoor Boys, he always has a little filter water bladder carries on me, and he only walks around with like a 2-liter bottle of water in his pack, and then when he gets to a stream, he just refills it and keeps on going. So I've got that filter now with a little bladder, and I still can carry 3 liters of water, or I can carry less. So now I can put 2 liters of water in my bladder, and then when I cross streams, I can just add more water in there. I mean, who knew that? Just blows my mind. I've been doing it wrong for all these years, thinking I had to carry all this extra weight of water, and I don't need to do that. I just carry a little bladder water filter, and the bladder, I mean, it rolls up. It takes up no extra space. And then the water filters are tiny, and they filter out, it says 99.9999% of all the bad stuff in the water. So I've been tried it out on this trail, and the water tastes great, and I'm not sick. Here's another little pinch point there. If I had those side saddlebags, I think they'd be hanging up on me here. Yeah, straight up and over the rock. Come on, Georgia, you need to hit that with a little bit more gusto. Here would be a really cool campsite. This is one of those places I'm talking about, where I'm riding along, and that's like a cool area to camp. It's next to a water source, so I have water for the night. It's got shade in case it's hot. It's got a flat area for your tent, and it's off the beaten path, you know, so I think that'd be a cool spot to camp. Maybe I'll have to do that one time. So I've learned that a lot from Luke and the Outdoor Boys. If you guys haven't seen that channel, I recommend it. I mean, it isn't anything flashy. The guy's just taking his kids, usually camping or fishing, and I'm watching it because I'm learning something from it, and it's actually very entertaining. And I've got my boy, and my daughter, and my older daughter. I've got all 3 of my kids liking the channel. They like to watch the Outdoor Boys. And my son, he wants to go camping now. He's been watching because he's got little kids. He's got I think Jake or Nate is 4 years old, and my son will be 4 next year. So he's relating to him. He sees him camping, and he wants to go camping now. And to me, I'm like, hell yeah, man! I want to take. That's exactly what I do. I want to go camping. I mean, I love my RV, don't get me wrong. The wife has to have the RV. My wife could probably do a tent camp twice a year, maybe once a year, but the RV, she could stay in the RV, and then I could go dirt bike camp for the night. And when my son starts riding, he's gonna turn into a pro hard enduro rider probably as soon as he can ride a dirt bike, because he's got a little Strider bike, and he's really good on that thing now. So he's gonna be a natural come to dirt bike riding. All right, here is where I poked my eyeball right there. Boom. That little twig that's still sticking out, that's where I hit my eye. So goggle up right there. Now here is the turnoff for Pack Saddle Cave to the left, right there. The trail swings around right, so you're coming in, you're just thinking it's like a switchback, so you just are like going on up to the right. Well, you gotta stop right there, and you gotta lift up that branch, and you go on to the trail, the Pack Saddle Cave. So that's a sneaky, yeah, don't fall to the right. It's a steep drop off to the right there, real narrow through here. Keep your balance. That's a cool little sneaky, kind of iconic place to go see is Pack Saddle Cave. Like I said, it's a natural cave. Really cool to go. I would love to ride, you can't ride your dirt bike up there, but I would love to do it. I mean, it's not far, it's about a quarter mile, and I would be capable. It has a little bit of an uphill climb to get up there, but oh, it'd be so fun to do. It'd be worth it just for the photo opportunity. Riding your dirt bike into a cave. So that is past the halfway point now. The trail starts getting a lot more open and a lot more flowy. You just gotta keep your balance. Don't get kicked out by a big boulder. You got a couple switchbacks to go up and over these saddles. But it's pretty much smooth sailing from here on out. You do have, so when you get up to Brush Creek, there is a big camp area up there. So there's often a lot of hikers coming down this way, but I'll be riding up and there'll be hikers coming down. So keep an eye out, look on far ahead on the trail if you can, just to see if you can see hikers coming down. You don't want to run into these guys. Now the hippie hikers, they don't like us already because they're trying to hike in peace and silence, and here we come, brap, brap, throwing roost up in their face, scaring off all the wildlife that they're trying to see. So kind of a tense relationship when you pass hikers on the trail. You can tell that they're kind of like, they're dirt bike guys, but for me, I'm like, hey, how's it going, brap, and I just continue on my way. So take that, hikers. I actually like hiking. I've been wanting to do a lot more hiking with my wife. It's great exercise, and I actually like hearing all the wildlife, hearing the birds, and just the peace and silence of it all. I'm probably going to be one of the hippie hikers one day. Oh, stop and smell the roses. Look at the view. Look at that view, folks.
Down there, right there.
That is why you like trail riding. Views like that. I mean, that is just, it's gorgeous up here. Another switch back. Trixie's doing great so far. I feel like I'm in the zone now. I just need some more time on her to really get the feel for how the power comes in. Brakes are great. I have no problem with the brakes, other than the rear brake needs to come up a little bit, but the front brake, such a nice pull on it. I really like the Brembo. Now the power, and like I said, it's just different. It's a very soft delivery, whereas the 4-stroke, especially the 450, it's got very heavy on the torque on the bottom end, and then there's a lot of engine braking. So you're on the gas, it's like jerking you forward. You're off the gas, it's jerking you back because there's so much engine braking. Whereas, hey, getting tired there, old man, aren't you? Doing this for time, I'm not taking all the normal rest breaks I'd be taking. But having the 2-stroke, honestly, it is a little easier. You know, people say that it is a little easier, and I'd have to agree. Just because to me, it's the engine brake. It's not really the weight of the bike. It is how just the motor runs, and you get so much engine on, you know, jerking forward, jerking back, and it really wears out your arms. Nice little downhill through this creek right here, going fast like a ski luge run. Then we're coming up to about 10 minutes left of the ride here. 44 minutes. See, I think if I really pushed it and cleaned up my ride, I think I could do a 44 minute. Sub 45, that's gonna be my goal. Next time I ride up here, I'm gonna shoot for a sub 45. The 54 minutes I think is a very good first time run up here. Solid ride. Gives me a lot of room for improvement, and I can see this watching through the footage here where several mistakes I had that I could clean up. See, even those, see those little stops right there? Just clean all that up. Just keep the flow going. Ooh, watch out. There's a real clipped out area right there. But here's to see what other people do. You know, I did 54 minutes. Pretty good. I mean, 70, this is honest, you know, this is about a 70% effort from me. And I'm not in the best shapes, so for me to keep this up for an hour is pretty good. I did stop just a couple times. I had a couple mistakes, laid the bike down a couple times. So I think if I bump this up to 80% effort and clean it up, I'd be easily in the high 40s. And then if I just put a little bit effort, maybe straighten out a couple lines, clean things a little bit quicker, I could be sub 45. Now when you get to the end here, there's a brush creek, and like I said, there's a lot of campers, so they start having a lot of trails going left and right, so you can get off on one of the hiker trails, the camper trails.
Right in the chest.
I got stabbed. I'm glad I'm wearing my chest guard. I wear an Alpine chest protector just for those reasons. You get the stick right to the chest. But as we get closer to Brush Creek is a pretty good flowing creek. And like I said, there's a lot of campers will be up here. When I say a lot, you know, there's like, you know, 3 cars or something like that. It isn't like a RV campground where you got 100 people running around everywhere. There's just a couple campers up here. They'll have different trails, and you'll turn left, or you should have went right, or whatever. You get off the trail anyway. So that happened to me actually. I get up here and I make a wrong turn. Got a quick little U-turn to get back on the trail. And I only know that because I've done this before, and I was like, oh well, this is right. So if this will be your first time going on the Rincon, it's probably gonna get you.
Don't rip the bag.
Yeah, watch out. Some of those little bush branches that come out.
Those branches might be.
Yeah, they can be strong sometimes, and you're expecting them to just give way, and they catch your sleeve or your bag or something, they rip it right off. All right, up one more saddle. Yeah, come on, Trixie, get after it, girl. I can smell that finish line. We're about a mile out from the finish right now, maybe less than that. Got to get up and over the saddle, down, and a couple switchbacks down, across the creek. Now the creek in the springtime is flowing pretty good. Right now it's pretty low. It's still got some water in it, but in the springtime or the early summer, it's flowing pretty good. So you got to choose where you're going to cross. There are some shallower spots, and right now it's low. I can just.
All right, there's the road. Getting close to the end.
Yeah,
like a mile to go, I think.
You can see Sherman Pass Road straight up 12 o'clock there. See that line going across that mountain?
Good.
Below that is where the finish line is, basically. So, yeah, that's Sherman Pass Road. If you took that goes all the way up into Kennedy Meadows, which I've never ridden up in Kennedy Meadows. I really want to do that. Looks like a lot of good high mountain trail riding up there. And you can get up really high now, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000. I think there's a trail goes up to 9,000 feet. My dad used to fly fish up there on Wenatchee Meadows. There's a dirt strip before the Sierra Club turned it all into wilderness area. You had Wenatchee, you had Templeton Meadows, you had a bunch of these high altitude areas where you could land an airplane just on the sandbank next to the creek. And my dad used to do that. He was the hard enduro of planes, yeah, but bikes on an airplane. That's what he's doing. He used to fly. He'd fly over the Sierras, and he'd always try to find a place that he can land his plane and walk over, jump into a creek, do some fishing or something like that.
Rocks did move a little bit.
And Sierras used to be open, and then Sierra Club came along and turned everything into wilderness, and that's what we know today is that we just think it's all wilderness, and we're trying to ride our dirt bikes in on little trails that they're provided to us. You know, I just, man, my dad really grew up in an era where you could do a lot of fun stuff up here. It's not that way anymore, and it's never going to be that way again. But it's just amazing, you know. But anyways, I'd like to go up to Kennedy Meadows, and I think I found the strip where I used to land on. You can see a satellite image where there's still kind of a real faded area where it looked like an old landing strip was, an old dirt strip. So, and I think you can ride to it. It's just, they got the wilderness just to the side of it. So I'm gonna do that. You can't land your plane up there anymore, but the old airstrip, I think you'll be able to see it. So I gotta ride up there. I was supposed to do a Kennedy Meadows trip last year with my buddy Dan, and Grip It and Rip It, and there was a fire, and we had that they wouldn't allow anyone, so we weren't able to get up there last year. And then this year just flew on by. We didn't get a chance to get up there. So maybe next year get up to Kennedy Meadows. Maybe this still got time, you know. Maybe do a camping dirt bike camp trip up there. That might be a good one to do up there. Because then I could bring the trailer, camp at fish camp, something like that, and then I could ride on to the old runway and camp on the runway or something like that. The other place we used to fly up to is Coyote Flats up by Bishop. There used to be an old Army high altitude base at 10,000 feet. They had an airstrip there. And there's 2 lakes that you can jeep up to now. I think one of the lakes called Funnel Lake or something like that. We used to, the strip was there, like it was asphalted in and everything. And we'd land there, and then we'd hike over to the lakes. Well, now they got the asphalt, so everything's ripped out. They got big holes, and so the whole area, you know, you can't land a plane there no more. But Jeepers, they still go to the lakes. You can still off-road up there, but you just can't fly and land a plane in there, which I think is so sad. You know, airplanes take up there's no road. They literally can't go anywhere but the strip itself. They cause like no disturbance to the environment, other than a little noise when they take off. I mean, landing, planes are very quiet when they land. It's only when they take off, you know, they gotta rev up the engine to get off the ground. But, you know, that's a very short amount of time. So I wish they still had airplanes up there. I think that'd be so awesome. To be able to fly, land up these high altitude, high mountain areas, and do a little fishing, do a little quail hunt or something like that, and then fly on home. That's my kind of America right there. Now we're getting close to the end, y'all. The way the finish line works is that there's 2 little set of creeks here. It's the second creek, the bigger creek. You got to get your bike all the way across out of the water. So if you dump your bike midstream, you got to get your bike out of the water. So it don't count until your bike's out on the other side of the bank of the water.
Getting close.
Yeah, see that line of trees up there? That is the creek we got across. That's Brush Creek. And you got to get, you'll see what I'm talking about. You got to get your bike across the creek. Right here, I'm looking left or right. I'm like, where does the trail go? This is what I'm talking about. You kind of get confused of where to go. I know, I'm losing time. Come on, make a decision there, buddy. All right, I'm on it. Good. Chose wisely. Some of you guys are going to take that left line, and then you're going to have to make a U-turn. Watch, it's going to happen. It's going to happen to me right up here, too. Now right here, I put my left foot. You see how I put my left foot down there? It stretched out my heel. And I've been having issues with plantar fasciitis, and it stretched it out. And it's been feeling good the last couple days. So the trail goes right there, and I pass it. So I do the move I just warned people about. And I'm like, oh, I got to make a U-turn here. I'm like, oh, I'm wasting time. Turn around. I can't pivot. I was going to pivot right, and I'm like, oh, I can't pivot right there. You're just going to have to go left. I lost like 30 seconds right here. Come on, Georgia, turn that bike around. Get to that finish line. I could shave off a whole nother minute right now if I just didn't goof around, get across this finish line. Here's that first creek I was talking about. And then there's one more. And you stop the clock as soon as you cross the other creek. And for me, it took about 10 seconds. I didn't subtract the 10 seconds it took me to stop the clock, so I'm just using the time as it was on my iPhone there.
Time.
What's it say? 54 minutes, 35
I gotta set the clock.
seconds.
Stop.
And boom!
All right.
It's official, folks.
All right, 54 minutes, 35 seconds. All right, so I'm testing out some gear this ride. I want to do a dirt bike camping trip, so this is the tail bag that I've come up with. I've anchored on. It's pretty solid. I think I need to put this strap up, like have this hold this Velcro strap. It's being held on right here with this, but it's still giving away, so it's coming down. You can stay up there tight. This was a cup holder, but I need more room, so I'm just going to cut that off. This does squish down, so if I do get up here, I can sit on it. It's working out really well. This is my camping chair down here. That is doing good, although looks like the back tire rubbing through the sack here. That's not good. I'm gonna have to there's little legs that fold in there, and there's one that's sticking out. Maybe I need to reposition that little leg so it doesn't stick out as much. You can see it's not rubbing, it's just rubbing from where the leg is rubbing. Anyway, that's what I'm guessing. Pretty good though, I like that. Got this is my tent poles right there. That's pretty good. I'm getting a MSR fuel bottle, and I'm going to attach it right here, so the fuel bottle is going to be right here. I carry a little gas in my pack, but a little extra one would be good right there as well. And then I haven't finished it, but I have a little soft ice chest going to go right here. Yeah, and for all the food and all that kind of stuff. And it's up high, you'll see when it's done, so that you can still use the headlight. I could get a little fender bag, but I don't know what the hell to put on that fender bag other than when I need something, I'll figure it out. Right now, I'm trying to keep everything skinny. That way, some of those tight spots on there and through the brush, I don't want any saddles out here that stick out and clipping the brush, clipping the rocks, and breaking buckles or stuff like that. It may work on normal trail rides, but hard enduro tight stuff, the saddlebags stick out too far, so I like to keep everything tight. Not bad. Got the cash can, got the sign-in book, got some stickers. Oh, I got some magnets too. Alright, here's what I got. Congratulations, found the hardcore cash can. Sign the book, put your name down and time. And keep riding the hard stuff. Ew! God, my handwriting's horrible, so here we go. You got George. 54, 35. Yeah, buddy.
Right on, right on, right on.
Down. I gotta hide it over here, though.
Yeah, you do.
It does get a lot of campers up here.
And there's Snoopy.
It looks.
They're gonna find the cash
Right
can
there.
and mess it all up. So I found this little spot.
Do a scavenger hunt to find that thing. All right, we need a kind of a flat rock.
I hope you guys can figure
on
out
top
where
of
I
it. This one.
where I hit it. I think I hit it pretty good.
It's kind of flat. Let's try it out.
So yeah, just put your name, put your time in the book there, and then you can compare yourself to
You
other
hide?
people and know where you stand.
There it is, folks. Meow.
Yeah. Anyways, gonna bring this video to an
You have
end.
to get like a treasure map. With all- How many steps?
Hope you guys liked
to
it. This is the Rincon
Trash
challenge.
can. There it is.
Timed run. Let's see if we can make this a thing like the 5 miles of hell. I think it'd be pretty
Right over
fun.
there.
It's a great trail. It's a challenging trail. So get out and ride. Put your name in the book. There, I just wanted to show you I crossed the creek and I dumped the bike. So if this is coming, if this is you going the other direction, you dump your bike, you can't stop that clock until you are out of the creek. I just want to throw that in there. But it would happen. I raced here. I didn't crash one time the whole way up here. Well, I go slow. I take my time going back, and I crashed 3 times. So I crashed here, not so bad, and then I have a little bit worse of a crash coming up right here. And that just shows you. Maybe I should just go race pace all the time. I won't crash. Anyways, folks, till the next video comes out. Get on ride and get some.
Done.